Good morning to one and all. This is Dr. Rajni. Today we will discuss about the plant pathology. What is the plant pathology? Now I will share my PPT. One second. See, yesterday already I'll start to the plant pathology. What is the plant pathology? These are things we will discuss to the today class. Okay. Now, history of plant pathology. Yesterday, I'll complete the yesterday class, the total history of the plant pathology. Now, we will discuss about to the history already complete, scope also complete, examples also are complete. Today, we will discuss about to the plant pathology classification. What is the plant pathology classifications are there? You know, that is the differentiation diseases causing the disease, different organisms. Like in the yesterday class already, we have to study it about to the class pathology. Now, classification of diseases. Plant diseases may be grouped in various ways on the basis of the extent to which disease are associated with plant disease may be plant localized diseases, synthetic systematic disease. So in that one, on the basis of their method, perputations and more of primary infection disease, soil-borne disease, airborne disease, seed-borne, endemic, epidermic, sporodermic, infection plant disease, like this. Different classification, general symptoms, these are that one. With the vast diversity of plants, there are a large number and kind of disease that affect of them. On the average, each kind of plant can be affected 100 or more plants. See, each kind of plant can be affected by 100 or more plant. Okay, this one average, this is not to particular, but overall averages the diseases to the affected by 100 or more plant disease. When each kind pathogen may affect anywhere from one variety to several dozens. The pathogens affect anywhere from the one variety to several dozen varieties, several hundreds of species of plants. This is the effect for the plant. To facilitate the study of plant disease, uh, to study of the plant disease, these can be grouped in some general categories. This classification grouped for the some general classification. It also this one also becomes essential for further identification and the subsequent control of any plant diseases. There are several criteria involvement is there in the plant disease classification. Not one or two classifications. Many criteria to undertaking in that time to classify the classified this one. Okay, this is the first one things. This is the mostly important of the classification. Another one, according to this, what is the symptoms? And main how to classify the these things, how to classify the pathology and what is the main source of the pathology. Here, you know that one pathology is the most important for the causing the disease different plants. What are the plant disease classified? What categories are taking the in this one? The first category symptoms they causing the symptoms. Where symptoms you can observe that one root rots. First one is the root rots, cankers, wilt, leaf spot, scabs, blight, anthrocons, rust. Last one is the smut. These are the symptoms. In the plants, you can observe the symptoms where these are the plant parts. In these plant parts, different parts is causing the diseases. One, this root diseases. Second one is called the canker diseases. And third one is the wilt diseases. Fourth one is called the leaf spot diseases. Scabs, blight diseases. These are the first method. The second method, the plant organ, they affect where the which plant organ to affect the disease. One is the rooted, plant parts. First, you can take the root diseases, stem diseases, foliage diseases, root, stem, foliage diseases, fruit diseases. Root is different. Root, stem, foliage, foliage meaning leaf foliages, and fruit disease. This is a second category. Third one, the type of plants affected. What type of plants? Cultivation plants are there, evergreen plants are there, different plants are present. Here, the types of plants affect field crop diseases. In the agricultural fields are there. In that agricultural fields, crop diseases are there. Vegetable. In the agriculture, some agriculturists to preferred only for the vegetables, to grow only for the vegetables. That is the vegetable disease. Next one, fruit tree, mango, guava, pomegranate, oranges, and grapes, like this. Different types of fruits are there, no? In that, fruits are also, that is a fruit tree diseases. Next one, forest. That forest is the use of trees, use of different plants are there. In that plants of a forest also causing the disease. Next one, trough diseases. Trough disease also one another thing. Disease of ornamental plants also. You have to grow to the different types of ornaments in surrounding areas, no? In that ornaments also causing the diseases. Okay, this is another category. Uh, Coming to the next one, the extent to which plant disease is associated with different. One is the localized diseases. The second thing, systematic disease. Okay, got it? Two types of diseases are there. One localized. Second thing is the systematic disease. What is the localized disease? Localized affecting only a part of the plant. What is that one localized? Affecting only a part of the plant. That is the localized disease. Next one, systematic disease. Affecting entire plant body. See, these two diseases are most important. One is the localized disease. The second thing is the systematic disease. Localized disease is called the affecting only any part of the plant. But systemic disease affecting the entire plant. Entire plant is this one. Next one, mode of natural uh, perpetration and mode of infection. Another very important mode of perputations and mode of actions. Natural perputation, mode of infection. Here different, no, I'll explain, no, soil borne, airborne, seed borne, like this. Soil, first one is to take the soil. Soil, na inoculation. When the seeds are there in the already in the soil, many different causing the disease organs, disease spores are to found in the soil before seedling time. This is the one. This is a soil form disease. Soil borne disease, inoculums of the disease causing pathogen remains in soil and penetrate the plant, resulting in diseased condition. That is called root rot disease and wilt disease. Okay, root rot or wilt disease. This is a soil-borne disease. Next one, airborne. Airborne is the, no, air. This is the microorganism. The microorganisms are spread through air and attack the plant causing disease. Attack the plant causing disease is called blight disease. That is called the blight. This one is called the blight disease. This disease name is called blight disease. Rust disease, blight, rust, and powdery mildew disease. Powdery mildew disease is the airborne disease. Airborne disease is the this one. One is the soil borne. The second one is the airborne. The third one is the seed borne. First one is called the soil borne. Yeah, complete no soil borne. Main example root rot, and second one is the wilt disease is the soil borne. Airborne is the microorganism. Where is the airborne is there? In that one airborne, microorganisms spread through air, attack the plant causing disease. Air is the blight, air is the blight disease, rust disease, blight, rust, powdery mildew, right? Rust, powdery mildew is called the airborne. Next one is the seed-borne. Seed-borne also microorganisms are carried, microorganisms are carried along with the seeds. Along with these microorganisms carrying with along seeds, causing disease when conditional conditions occur. Example, damping off. This is the seed is the damping off. Next one, coming to the another thing, uh, occurrence and distribution. Coming to the occurrence and distribution, 1 second. Hmm. Occurrence, second. Occurrence and distribution of plant diseases geographically. Occurrence and distribution of plants geographically. What is the geographically? And what is the meaning of geographically? different areas, different climate conditions. These are all are the under the geographical condition. Here, geographical endemic, epidemic, sporadic, pandemic. You know pandemic, yes or no? In the last, in the 2021, 22, you all are you facing the pandemic. What is the pandemic? And now I will. This is occurring throughout the content, sub-content result. That is the pandemic. Okay, coming to the occurrence and distribution of plant disease geographically endemic. When a disease is more or less consequently prevalent from year to year. See here, the first one is the endemic. When a disease is more or less constantly prevalent from year to year in a moderate to serve from the particular country. That is the what disease of potato is the endemic of Darjeeling. These are the most important disease. Okay. This is the potato of endemic to Darjeeling. That is the endemism. Coming to the epidemic. Next one is the second one is the epidemic or epiphytic. Epidemic or epiphytic. Epiphytic or endemic, a disease. This type of disease occurring periodically, but not in a serve from involving major areas of cropping. You can observe this epidemic or epiphytic occurring periodically, but in serve from involving major areas of the crop where the major crop are there. In that crop, you can observe this type of disease. It may be constantly present in locally, but assume serve from occasionally. The example of this rust disease, late blight disease, powdery mildew disease. This is called the epidemic or epiphytic diseases. Coming to the sporadic disease. Sporadic disease this is a third one distribution disease, plant disease, sporadic disease which occur at very irregular interval and location in the moderate to serve from disease which occur at very irregular interval and location in a moderate to serve from example leaf blight, wilt diseases. Leaf blight and wilt. This is the third one is complete. Now pandemic. Pandemic disease, you all know what is the meaning of pandemic. Yes or no? We are all facing that problem to comes out to that problem. The pandemic disease occurring throughout the content. Throughout the content or sub-content resulting in mass morality. Content or sub-content. This is a pandemism. Yes or no? Sub-content and content or sub-content, content or sub-content resulting in mass morality. Resulting in the mass morality. That is example late blight of potato. The pandemic is very, which this is causing late blight of potato. However, the most commonly used creations or criteria creation is the type of pathogen that cause the disease on the basis of casual factors. Different factors are there. On the basis of casual factors into two groups. One is the non-parasitic. The second one is the parasitic. See, the first one, what is the non-parasitic? Non-parasitic disease, the casual factor of this disease, mainly you can observe physiological and environmental problems. Physiological environmental problems like freezing, injury caused by low temperature. What is the environmental factors? Main environmental factors: low temperature, high temperature, unfavorable oxygen condition, soil moisture, mineral deficiency, or excess of minerals. In sometimes in the soil, you can observe the excess of minerals also. Excess of minerals also in the soil, excess of minerals also. For example, I'll explain black heart of potato disease. In the potato, the disease causing the disease name black heart. Many examples in the potato only I'll take here. The black heart of potato. The black heart of potato causing due to high temperature. When the climate high temperature is there, in that time the potato causing the disease. The potato causing the disease is called the black heart. Next one, black necrosis and red delicious apple. Potato is complete. Next in apple, black necrosis and black necrosis of red delicious apple. These are caused due to excess of minerals. In the high temperature, causing the disease in potato, that is called black heart. In the excess of minerals are there in the soil, in the apple, you can observe the disease red delicious. The disease name is called red delicious apple. Okay. Another example, red leaf of cotton. Another one, what is another one? Red leaf of cotton and Kyra disease of rice is red leaf of cotton and Kyra is disease is rice causing disease mineral deficiency. See, one is the environmental, the very high temperature is there. In that high temperature causing the potato disease black heart. When the excess of minerals are there in the soil, in the apple, the disease is the red delicious disease. Okay. In the soil, mineral deficiency are there in the, which one? Cotton leaf, thyroid disease to causing. This is the non-parasitism. Non-parasite. Here parasites is not there. Only environmental condition. You can observe in this part environmental condition and soil type. In the soil minerals or excess of minerals or mineral deficiency. Both you can observe in this one. Coming to the second one. What is the second one? Parasitic disease. Non-parasitic is completed. The excuse me. Parasitic disease. Here, the casual factors of the disease are parasitic micro or macroorganisms. The casual factors of the disease or parasitic micro or macro organisms. This is two types are in one is a micro or macroorganisms which need a host. Non-parasitic, no. Here compulsory you can observe the host is must. This disease causing the disease, host is must, which need a host plant to serve to survive or to complete the total life cycle. Survive or complete life cycle. What are the microorganisms? Which one is causing this disease? Various microorganisms, fungi, bacteria, viruses, mycoplasma, algae, and animal parasites such as nematodes and etc. The parasite and causing disease in host plants. The best example, bacterial blight of paddy. The first very best example is called, which one is the best example? Bacterial blight of paddy. Second one, club root of crucifera. Crucifera is the mustard like this. In that one, club root of crucifera caused by the club root of crucifera caused by mycoplasma. Club root, this is the most important. Myco, tobacco mosaic. Tobacco mosaic also, TMV virus causing the disease. This one is a TMV virus, tobacco mosaic virus causing the disease, virus, sometimes ergot disease also, ergot, smut disease also, smut and rust caused by the fungi, rust and smut causing by the fungi, ear, Kukul of wheat. Kukul of wheat caused by the kukul of wheat caused by nematodes, etc. Nematodes also, this one causing the disease, nematodes also. These are the non-parasitic and parasitic diseases causing by the different non-parasitic. You can observe the all environmental condition. In that one, parasitism is absent. Where the parasitic disease are there, here organism is must in the life to spawn to that one microorganisms, and next one is the different microorganism coming to the on the basis plant disease are classified like this. On the basis of plant diseases classified into different. One is a infection. One is infection. Infectious plant diseases. Infectious plant diseases. Next one. Second one, non-infectious or abiotic diseases. This is the two types, infectious, and second thing is the non-infectious, infectious, non-infectious or abiotic. Abiotic disease is called these two types. One is called the infectious disease again can be divided into five types. Infectious disease can be divided into uh, divided into five types. The first one is called disease caused by fungi. The first one is a disease caused by the fungi. The second one is called caused by the bacteria, the different organism caused by the bacteria. Next, disease caused by parasitic higher plants. Parasitic higher plants. Next one is called the disease caused by viruses. Disease caused by viruses. Next one, disease caused by nematodes. This is the main important of the infectious plant disease. The main infectious plant disease is the fungi, bacteria, parasitic higher plants, viruses, nematodes. This is the most important for the infectious plant disease. Non-infectious plants are abiotic disease. Non-infectious are abiotic diseases. Abiotic, this one is the nutrition deficiency. Abiotic or non-infectious. First one is the nutrition deficiency. Second one, mineral toxicity. Third one, lack or excess of soil moisture. Fourth one, too low or too high temperature. Very low or high temperature. Next one, air pollution. Sixth one, lack of oxygen. Seventh one, lack or excess of light. Excess of light or no light. That is a lack of light. Eighth one, soil acidity or alkaline pH. Soil acidity or alkaline pH. These all are infection or non-infection on the basis of the plant disease classification 2. Basis of the plant disease, infectious and non-infectious or abiotic. The scientist through Walker, 1969. Uh, the Walker scientist classified plant disease in three major groups. That is the non-parasitic disease, first one. Second one, parasitic disease. Third one, mycoplasma and viral disease. See, this can be divided into three types. Which one? The Walker scientist. Walker scientist through Walker scientist in 1969 classified plant disease into three major groups. One is the non-parasitic disease. The second one is the parasitic disease. Third one is the mycoplasma or viral disease. But here, mycoplasma viral disease are kept under parasitic disease. Okay. These disease are sometimes classified on the kind or type of the characteristic symptoms it produced on the plant. Here, how many types are there? One is the rust. Second one is the smut. Third one is the midule. Fourth one, root rot. Fifth one is the blight. Sixth one, leaf spot. Seventh one is called wilt. Eighth one is called crankers. And last but one, fruit rot, etc. These are infectious diseases. Characteristics is the some classified as the next. Disease may be also classified into this one classified into according to the plant organ the effect. Disease may also be classified according to the plant organ they affect. Thus, there are root disease, stem disease, foliage disease, fruit disease. Okay, thus they are root disease, stem disease, foliage disease, fruit disease. First one, what is root disease? Root is the verticulum, coleotrichum, macrophomia. These are the plants causing the disease, root disease. Causing the disease is a verticulum, coleotrichum. This is the coleotrichum is the sugar cane, macrophomium. These are the root rot disease coming. Coming to the second one, club root disease of cruciferae. Cruciferae is a mustard like this. Mustard is the best example, crucifera. What is the crucifera? Crucifera is the clubroot disease of cruciferae. Here, vascular wilts are there. For example, Fusarium species, Verticulum species, Fusarium verticulum, and other root disease caused by other root disease, Gymnemaceae graminis, Phymatotrichum, Aminovarum, and Armillaria mela. This is all the root diseases. Okay. Coming to the next one, stem disease. Stem disease, stem rot of juice, jute. Stem is the rot of jute. Black stem rust of wheat. Black stem rust of wheat. Next one, leaf. Root stem is complete. Coming to the next, root leaf disease. Foliage disease. This is called the leaf spot. Leaf spot of turmeric. Leaf blight of wheat. Leaf spot of turmeric. Leaf blight of wheat. Leaf curl of peach. This is a foliage disease. Coming to the fourth one, fruit disease. Fruit disease is called crown gall. Crown gall of stone fruit, citrus canker. Bacteria to causing that one, citrus canker. And coming to the last one is last but not least disease that is called seedling disease. What is the next one? Disease. Seedling disease, seedling blight, phytum 1, Phytophthora 1, next one Fusarium. Next coming to the next one is the Fusarium and Cotricum. These are all the seedling disease. The different different diseases are to found in this one. Okay, coming to these all the now we will explain complete of the explanation that is called the total uh, total classification of the disease. And next coming to the what is the parasitism. See, now we will discuss about the disease. Next is what is the meaning of the parasitism. Parasitism, when an organism what is the parasitism? Parasite when an organism lives on or in the some other organism. Then what is the meaning of parasitism? What is the definition of the parasitism? Here, mostly important depending upon the other organism. Yes or no? Depending upon the other organism. Depending upon the other organism, here organism lives on or in some other organism and obtained in it food from the later, then it is a parasite. Okay, here the relationship between a parasite and its host is called parasitism, and host is called parasitism. What is the parasitism? The relation between a relation between parasite and its host is called parasitism. That is called the parasitism. The definition of parasitism would include all varieties of interspecific association in a gradient of interdependence. Therefore, association defined as uh, commensal, mutasilial, and symbiosis are distinct features of the phenomena is called parasitism. Here, the parasitism host environment system is dynamic with several points equilibrium. This makes it difficult to raise the threshold between benefit and damage, and therefore the definition of commercialism, mutualism, and the symbiosis become worthless. The parasitism is essential for life. Life emerged as a sequences of parasitism at the molecular level, and intracellular parasitism created evolutionarily even that allow species of diversity. The scientist Leucott scientist in 1879 defined parasitism and defined parasitism. Here, mostly importance of the parasitism is the that one is the this one is the parasitism. The scientist here in Leucott in 1879 defined parasites as organisms that find the another organism's habitat and nutrition. According to uh, Brumt, another scientist is a Brumt 1913. Parasites are all living being plants or animals. Parasitism is a all living plants or animals in which at least part of their lives depends upon another organism. Many parasitism may considered as harmless or even necessary for their host. If example, plant parasites is an organisms that become intimately associated with a plants and multiply, grow the expense of the plant. The removal by the parasite of nutrient and water from the host plant usually leads to the reduced efficiency in the normal growth of plant and become determinantal to its further development and reproduction. Thus, in it may cases parasitism initially association with pathogenetic. Since the ability of parasites is inward become established from the host, generally resulting in a development diseased condition. This is the in some cases parasitism as the root nodules. Parasitism is the root nodules. Root nodules of bacteria, legume plants, both plants and microorganisms are the beneficial to other development, and this phenomena is known as called symbiosis. Both are beneficial are there. In the symbiosis, both are beneficials are present. Of the large number of group living organism, only a few group can parasitizing plants, fungi, example for the fungi, bacteria, and parasitic all plants, all three belonging to the plant kingdom. Nematodes is the animal kingdom, and viruses. The parasitism successful must be able invade host plant that is proliferated withstand conditions in the host. Some parasites including viruses, nematodes, among the fungi, those causing downy mildew, powdery mildew, and rust disease. Downy mildew, powdery mildew, rust disease can grow and reproduced only on living host, and they are called obligate parasites. Other parasite must fungi, bacteria can live on either living or dead host and are therefore called non-obligate parasitism. You know, facultative parasitism, obligative parasitism. In the fungi time, I'll explain this is called the parasitism. These fungi can live on either living or dead host, therefore is called non-obligate. See, obligate parasitism is there. The second one is non-obligate parasitism. Coming to the next. Some non-obligate parasitism live most of the time or most of their life cycles as parasites, but under certain condition may grow saprophytically on dead organisms. That is called facultative saprophytes. That is the facultative saprophytes, whereas other live most of them, most of the time and thrive well on dead organic matter under certain circumstances may attack and leaving the plant become a parasitism. That is called facultative parasitism. There is usually no correlation between the degree of parasitism of pathogen and the severity of disease it causes, since many diseases caused by weakly parasitism. and that is called a weakly parasite. Weakly parasite pathogens are much more damaging to the plant, other plant and others, caused everybody, causing the caused even obligate parasitism. Next one, moreover, certain fungi. For example, what are the causing the shoot module can cause disease by the growing on the surface of the plant and feeding on insect rather than by parasiting parasiting of the parasiting of the plant. Obligate parasites are usually very specific as to the kind of host they attack, possibly because they have evolved in parallel or become available to the pathogen only in the host disease. This is a non-obligate parasitism. May attack many different plants and plant parts of the varying age, possibly because they depend for their attack. That is called non-specific toxics or enzymes. This is the parasitism. What is the origin and evolution of the parasitism? Here, parasitism is inherent life. That is called the inherent life. Parasites are found in every organism of all exciting species on earth. Every organism of all exciting species on earth. Since the beginning of life, parasitism was adopted by certain organism to multiply. Actually, parasitism must have occurred at must have occurred at early stage of evolution. Early stage of evolution. All living organisms. Next one is the all living organisms have a uniform biochemical biochemical compositions. Biochemical biochemical compositions, the plant that point to a common origin in common ancestor lived billion years ago also. Billion years ago. Life on earth was only possible the conspicuous. The conspicuous that life is called the conspicuous living organisms. That is called the life form, later derivating of life forms, and radiation was also multiple association. These ascent event represent the first step towards a host parasite, that is called molecular parasitism, is clearly exemplified by the transposable elements, jumping genes. This is called the transposable elements. That elements is called the jumping genes. These jumping genes uh, indeed, the DNA sequence called transportable elements are actually recognized as molecular parasitism. These genes, jumping genes, are transposable elements occurs occurs in both prokaryotic and eukaryotic, that one. Next, transposons is the insertion. Transposon is the insertions of an identical copies. That is the identical copy of transposable elements into a new genomic site of the host. These insertion can cause delicious inversions, chromosome fusion that result in considerable genomic parasite, thus contributing to biodiversity. Common origin with viruses and retrovirus were identified the first control elements by the McClinton scientist in 1984. The next one, the extra chromosomal transmissible genetic elements. That is also jumping genes, but extra chromosomal jumping genes are transposable genetic elements where you can identify that one is the viruses, plasmids, and bacteriophage. These genome fragments depending the host cell to multiply, and therefore they could not have proceeded the cell itself. These elements could have been the origin of nuclear DNA as well as other cellular organelles. The extra chromosomal genetics elements and transposomal elements represented primitive molecular parasite. They played a very important role in the evolutionary of life forms since their inoculation host genome cell promoted for the genetic diversity. This is the genetic diversity. Certainly, many of the alternations they induced directional, that one. Next one, a field of a field episode a failed episode of reduction parasitism resulted in the eukaryotic cell, also the prokaryotic, both eu and prokaryotic exhibit the parasitism. Next, the parasitism infection disease. We in the that is a genetically this one is the parasitic infection diseases. Two distinct situations originate single process. This is a single. A parasite is a necessary but not sufficient condition to launch a parasitic disease. This parasitism does not necessarily result in injury or benefit to the host. Benefit to the host. Parasitism disease is an evenly common outcome of a given parasite in a given host from given population in certain environment during a particular life coevolution period, both pathogenesis. In it essential, it is the unique result of association parasite or a multicellular. This one is the multicellular parasite is involved. A system is formed by the parasite. the host, the host and the environment, each of one interaction and infection, other substance, in such a way that any changes in one substance affect from of the other two. These systems may exhibit order spontaneously and submitted to natural selection inherent properties of systems. The parasite host environment system react to change in each subsystem with different response according to the feature of the stimulus. Such stimulus can induce the parasitic disease originated by any component of subsystem. The parasitic disease is not an unbalanced occurrence in the host parasitic environment relationship, but a natural phenomena even as a component of the system, that is a specific reaction of given individual host, that is the singles and symptoms of the whole system, that is called the disease. This is the totally parasitism and actor here in the glossary. What is parasite? And organism are viruses living in or another organism, that is parasite. Parasitism, a relation between organism in which one live as a parasite and another. Pathogen, a disease causing origin, organism or agent. Virulence, the degree or measure of pathogenicity of a given pathogen, relative capacity to causing the disease. Next one, translocation, the long distance transport of water, nutrient, chemicals, food material is called translocation. The fourth one, necrosis, the death of cells often accompanied by black or brown darkening of the tissues. Next one, biotic, penetrating to life and therefore living organism, for example, plant disease of a biotic origin or causing the disease living organism as insect nematodes example. Biotic, abiotic, penetrating, this one is a pertating to physical and inorganic compounds. For example, disease, disorders in plants can be caused by abiotic factors such as the extreme of heat, light, moisture, lack of nutrients, etc. Vectors. Here, any living organism, for example, insects, mite, birds, nematodes, these are plant, human. These are the vectors that transmitted pathogen from an infected organism to an uninfected one. Next, disease triangle. Very important. Disease triangle is the most a memory aid the diagram. Three important component necessary for disease. A suspectable plant, first one. Second one is the virulent pathogen. And third one is the favorable environmental causing the disease. This is a triangle. Next one, chlorosis. Chlorosis is the abnormality, yellow color of plants, plant tissues resulting resulting from parasite partially failure to develop chlorophyll caused by the nutrient deficiency or activity of the pathogen. These are the differentiation from the bibliography. And next interaction. The coming to the another one, post pathogen interaction. Interaction 1, interaction 2. These are all the now we will study to the pathogen in first infection process. How to infection? These are introduction. You know that one infection process is the most adhesions infection process. First one, plant exit in a world which is full with microorganism. The microorganism continue continue to grow in the same environmental as the plant and tree throughout the growing season or for many years. The surface of these plants are constantly exposed to bacteria, fungi, nematodes, and possibly parasitic plant pathogenesis is have accumulated many adaptations to enable themselves to this one is years the thus, is the enable the surface of these plants are constantly exposed to the bacteria, fungi, nematodes, and possibility parasitic plants. Plants pathogen have accumulated many adaptive adaptations to enable themselves enable to themselves that is the overcome that plant defense mechanism and colonize plant tissue for growth, survival, reproduction. Once established inside the plant, they have at least temporarily escaped the intense competition from sporophytic organisms on plants and in the soil. The infection process can be divided into three phases: adhesions, penetration, colonization. In economy, germination, multiplication, function of an infective uh, propagal in on other potential host till the establishment of a successful parasitic relationship between the pathogen and host. This process infection influenced by the properties of the pathogen, the host and external environment. If any of the stages of the infection process is inhibited by any these factors, pathogen will not be able to causing the in the host. While some parasitic colonies, the outside of the plant Pathogens may also either enter the host plant by penetration through a natural opening like stomata pores in a wound. The symptoms of the disease produced by these pathogen result in the form of distribution and the respiration, photosynthesis, translocation, nutrient, transpiration, other accepts growth and development. Growth and development. These are the divisions of the three. One is the adherence. Before a pathogen can penetrate a host tissue, a spore must germinate and grow on the surface of the plant. Many fungi on encouraging their host or some other solid substance. That is the germinate to start producing successfully parasitism of plant by the pathogen. If fungal substance occurs in the plants, occurs before penetration, the various functions of a plant pathogen adherence that one adhere the process is the called that one is the most important additions keeps propagal of pathogen from being displaced by not being blown or raised by water wind potentially suitable environment. It is required for host penetrate via mechanical pressure. It required for thiomodification. These are things. We will stop the share. Now I'll stop the PPT. Okay, thank you. We will meet next Saturday to discuss another things.